You know, as creatives, as creators, and as artists, I think one of the most important questions that we continually and constantly ask ourselves nonstop is, why am I doing that which I'm doing? What is the purpose behind what I'm doing? And so there's relevance in that, as I've currently been devoting myself to going backwards, moving away from my Canon cinema cameras to revisit this, the GH5. Because, as I mentioned many times, I began my film journey on Micro Four Thirds with a GH4, G7, G85, G9, etc. And then when the GH5 came out, I picked one up for a very short period of time, and then I cut myself short, and I moved over to full frame and went with an EOS R and A7 III, and ended up moving everything over to Canon. Picked up the Canon cameras for cinema for all our video work, and at the time that was the C100 Mark IIs. Then eventually we upgraded to C200s, which I frankly love. To this day, the C200s I think are some of the greatest cameras ever created. Now, I've been using the GH5 for a few months now. Mostly talking head work for our 5 YouTube channels, content creation, some client work, interviews. Most of our work is not suitable for YouTube. I'm a full-time bodybuilding and addiction recovery coach, so a lot of the work that we do is not even suitable for YouTube. And when we try to put some of the videos up thinking, well, maybe this one will be admissible, it gets deleted. And we've had many videos deleted on our main channel. But regardless, I've now dedicated a few months to revisiting the GH5 in many forms. This is how I've had it mostly here when I've been facing the camera, utilizing the Panasonic SLR module, which is fantastic. The preamps are great on this. Very low noise, love them to death. With some type of external monitor, whether it's this FeelWorld 7-inch or FeelWorld 10-inch director's monitor, the Atomos Shinobi 2, which I'm using right now, the Portkeys PT5 Mark II, which I've put on my Sigma FP run and gun rig pretty much permanently. It sits there now. But my point is that I have dedicated a few months, maybe that's not a long time, but I've gotten very comfortable with the camera, its format, its codecs. And shortly after, I was posed with an opportunity to trade my brand new Canon R8, which basically sat on a shelf because it didn't fit what I wanted it to do for me anyway, for this, for the GH6. So then I started asking myself, well, now with the GH6, why am I still revisiting the GH5? When the GH6 offers me everything the GH5 does, and it fixes the problems that I have with the GH5. It changes all of my qualms and all of my issues, and all of the things that I would want on a GH5 are right there on a GH6. Such as the basic things like no front tally light. GH6 has a front tally light. The screen on the GH5, that may be great for so many people loving this articulating screen for vlogging or whatever it is. I don't use it. I prefer the tilting screen on the GH6. But my biggest issue, besides not having a front tally light, which is just preference, but my biggest issue with the GH5 has been the colors. The color science behind the GH5. That pink and orange hue, that tint that is underlying everything. And there's only so much color grading that you can do, and there's only so much LUT adding that you can do to overlap and overlay that pink and that orange hue, but it's still going to be there, especially in the cheeks. No matter what you do, you can't change color science. You can color grade, You can add LUTs. You can do a lot of things to adjust the coloring of an image, but you can't change the color science that is at the base foundation of a camera. And that is my biggest issue with the GH5 is I'm going to be real. I don't like the colors. As a guy that loves Canon colors and loves Fujifilm film simulations, it's a great camera. And I'm not going to steer you wrong. All the videos I've made thus far saying that the GH5 holds so much value in 2025, absolutely. If you are on a budget and you have $500 and you need a capable video camera, you go get that GH5 right away. You get the GH5 body only, batteries, charger, $400 on many occasions. It's such a great camera, and it will open the doors to filmmaking for you. But if you have a little more money to spend and you want a slightly more capable camera that has full audio controls right there on the top of the camera with the press of one button, full audio layout. And as an audio engineer, I love having all my audio controls right there. Front record button. There are elements to the GH6 that the GH5 is lacking that I love having available, but ultimately, why continue to use a camera that has a foundational color science that I can only do so much to change when I already have a camera right there in front of me that changes it? We're currently shooting on the GH6 in the natural profile, just the natural profile, in 420, 10-bit, all-eye. And I think this is a fantastic image. I think this is a really good, very presentable image for client work, for cinema work, whatever cinematic look you want to go after. It's a great foundation. And you also have full V-Log, which I don't even need to use full V-Log. I'm not even in 422. I'm in 420, 10-bit, all-eye, and this image is awesome. And the color science at the base foundation of it all is exactly what I was looking for. So now I ask myself that question that I posed in the beginning of the video. Why continue to dedicate more and more time to a camera that does not do what I want it to do when I already have another option that does? So friends, I could continue to go on with the GH5 and max out everything that it has to offer, but I feel like I already have now. And it only took a few months to do that. And that's a testament to Panasonic as to what a fantastic camera they made here for beginning and newbie and entry-level filmmakers to just jump in and get their feet wet with. The GH5 is awesome. Legendary. Dare I say epic. But in 2025, this is a perfect camera if that is your budget. But for me, when I already have something that surpasses it, I'd rather start dedicating all of my time and effort to the GH6. So that's where I stand now. Just a few months later, after saying I'm going to revisit the GH5. And fair enough, I did. I revisited the GH5. And I realized I like the GH6 better. And as I also mentioned when I first picked up this GH5, a big reason that I got it was so that eventually when my son was ready to upgrade from his G85 for his car videos and films and the things that he does in his way, part of that was that this would be his upgrade from the G85 to the GH5. And I think that it's already time. So it's time to put the GH5 on a shelf for him when he's ready. And now I'm going to continue to use the GH6 and master its capabilities. And I got to tell you, if you are a Micro Four Thirds user And if you're looking for some budget, entry-level cinema lenses, my favorite lenses for the Micro Four Thirds platform are these SLR Magic Hyper Primes. This is the 12 millimeter Hyper Prime compared to the 35 millimeter Hyper Prime Cine 2. So this Cine 2 is a T0.95, whereas this 12 millimeter Hyper Prime is a T1.6, but we're filming with the 23 millimeter Hyper Prime T0.95, and that's pretty much my primary lens for our content creation. Now, when I go out and I shoot client work, I do use this 35 millimeter T0.95 Cine 2 lens, and I love this lens to death. Love this lens. These SLR lenses go perfectly with the GH6, the GH5, the Micro Four Thirds platforms. And you can even get some amazing quality images with a G7 and a G85 and these SLR Magic lenses. So then as a planner, someone who creates processes for everything, I ask myself, what will be the next step after I've revisited the GH6, feel like I've mastered its capabilities and all it has to offer? What comes next? GH7? Probably not. Possibly a Lumix full frame alternative to compare to the Micro Four Thirds alternatives made from Panasonic Lumix. But to be honest with you, what I'd like to do is pick up the Canon R5C or potentially the C80 or C70, depending, and compare one of those to the GH6. I love comparing different camera platforms to see how they compare in the same format, in the same codec. I just love playing with gear. So all I can tell you, I'm just going to keep playing and comparing and bringing these videos to you guys. And I hope that some of you find at least some of this information valuable, if not helpful, or at the very least, just entertaining. So friends, thanks for watching another video here at The Growing Pro, where we hope that all of our experiences, all our comparisons, all of our endeavors, and maybe not quite so successful endeavors, will help provide valuable information to you to circumvent this process and get to a point where you are making money with your craft faster. All right, I'll see you in the next video.